It's not compassion, Ian, it's institutional failure. Rape victims are being told that the offender's past trauma matters more than their present harm. That's not justice. And I've been in those courts, by the way. I have been in a court where a publicly paid defender has stood up and said, Judge, my client has just arrived on a boat.
Yep.
We must understand how traumatic that is. And he's here illegally, and he has no other means to support himself but to commit crime.
Sure.
So then you'd think the judge would be like, get out of here. You know, I don't care. He committed a crime.
Well,
No,
you'd think that would be the only answer.
You know, well, I don't, yeah. Number one, I stood up and say that's actually not mitigating, that's aggravating because he's already committed a crime by being here. But the judge says, well, actually, let's order, like you read in these articles, a probation report and see, let's get to know him more. Meanwhile, Ian, victims, they live with lifelong trauma. There's no mitigation, no reduction, no sympathy from that.
True.
And it's frankly disgusting. And the fact that one of them, I think the Afghanis claimed, you know, he didn't understand that consent doesn't come into play when you want to have sex with a woman. That should aggravate the sentence.
Well, right.
Of course, but Ian, you see, when you lose control of who enters the country, you lose control of the risk that they bring in.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. And, you know, courts are pressured to manage risk through sentencing tweaks. You know, there isn't enough prison space. We've let in so many people. We haven't built enough prisons. All these things come into play, and it's a massive institutional failure. And then, of course, they do bring in the human rights, and that's another reason to leave the ECHR.
Yeah.
But one thing that screams to me about these offenders who claim PTSD or whatever it is, I've had them claim ADHD as well, by the way, and that's taken into account. That's a mitigating factor to reduce their sentence.
Interesting.
I want them deported.
Yeah.
You know, I don't care if they're going back to the Taliban. These boys came and raped young girls.
Yeah, if you've raped someone,
they can be deported. They can go and do that in the Taliban, where it's normal.